Hey guys, Bert with Atlas. Today we're gonna start out doing a Glock 17 slide for our buddy Lance. We're gonna do a few different things to this. It's gonna require a few different operations, so we're gonna walk you through it a little bit and let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna get this loaded into the vise. First thing we have to do is indicate. We do ours a little different than a lot of machine shops because we do individual parts. We don't do a lot of like single part production. So we like to indicate off of each part because, as you know, throughout the manufacturing process, you can have quite a bit variation. And by quite a bit in the machine world, and you know, a few thousands will throw off fitment, lineup, all that kind of stuff. So we like to go off of each individual part. It does take a little bit longer. So right here, it's going to do our x-axis. Now on this one, we're going to do our Z and our Y all in one. So it's going to start off and it's going to touch off our Z, and then we'll go ahead and find our Y. All right, now the machine knows exactly where our part is. We're gonna load our first file, which is going to be, on this one, our anti-glare. Anytime we start the machine for the first time, we like to ease it on in, make sure there's no issues.
You up in my face right now. I don't need you up in my way right now. I don't need you up in my face right now. I don't need you up in my way right now. In the moment that it happened.
All right, so our second op that we're gonna run is our cloud burst window, and that runs off the same datum points as our first one. Right now we're using an 1/8 inch. It's gonna come in and do what is called an adaptive cut, and it's gonna come in and basically just clear out the bulk of the material as fast as it can, really. So after it does the adaptive, most of the clearance is going to come into a final contour. This just gives it a nice surface finish. And then it's going to give it one last full spring pass. And now we're going to put our chamfer on. We use a 3/8 90-degree chamfer. Technically 45, kind of depends on who makes the chamfer on how it's really classified, but for our third operation, we're gonna go ahead and get this Optic cut. We do locate this off a different work coordinate system, and that's just because all of our files are individual. Some of, a lot of customers only want, just the window or just the Optic cut. So the files are set up individually, which again, it does take a little bit longer as far as setup and stuff, but we're more of a one-off shop than a production shop, at least when it comes to this type of stuff. So we're gonna do the same thing. All we need to refind is X because we're starting at the other side of the slide, but just for safety, I always like to redo my Z just in case, again, there's any deviation. It takes an extra 10 seconds and kind of gets rid of the risk of ruining a part. All right, so now we're gonna get our RMR loaded. We're going to start out with for us, a 1/4 inch end mill. Again, kind of the same process. We're going to go in and clear out as much of the material as fast as possible. We use a 1/4 inch instead of something bigger like a 3/8 or a 3/4 because we have all of the recoil posts. So we have the 2 screw lugs plus the 2 front recoil posts, and you just can't fit a lot bigger tool in there.
Someone at the door, John, now I'm here to stay. Tell me who the fuck gonna face the music, more brick lane, less screen time. Been cutting back on the daily usage. Long road for the road dogs, put the whip miles from a soapbox. Got BKTs on this bitch, so everybody getting rolled on, yeah. Yeah, everybody getting rolled on. Check artist credits on BMI. I'm just too kind to expose y'all. And I see a team with the ghost sign and question if y'all ever wrote songs. All enemies of mine a band study. Please don't test me, I'm a know-it-all. Got platinum songs in the vault collecting dust. If we talk about showing up, then y'all attend it suck. Both feet on the gas pedal.
All right, now that we've got the bulk of the material out of the way, final floor. We're gonna use an 1/8 inch for this one. This is gonna give us our final depth along with a nice surface finish.
Oh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a fool fight. You been working all day.
Here it's going to come off and give us our final height on our rear screw post. It's already given us our final height on our front one. So now that we have our final depth and our finish, we're going to come into our final contour in between those front two posts and the front where that optic sits, what we call the front contour. That's what this is going to do, is give us our final contour, and then it's going to come in, give us our final shape around the front post, and then our final contour around the screw lug.
You gon' work that right. I'ma mess around and drown when you drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like.
I forgot to mention, for this one we are using a 16-inch square end mill. That's the only thing that can really fit in between the front post and the front contour. A little bit of an expensive bit, and you tend to go through them on steel pretty fast compared to all the other ones, but it's a necessary evil for how we cut our optic cut.
This is just time, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, and you know what's next. Stay. You been rocking with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming dirty like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell you, get low.
All right, so now that it's done that, it's gonna come in and it's gonna give us our spot drill to drill the screw holes.
Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead.
Now it's gonna come in and drill out our holes. This one we have to use through coolant for. Obviously, as you can see, when we're videoing, we try to use flood coolant because you can't see a whole lot through the storm of coolant through coolant. And basically, we're just pecking those holes out with a proper sized drill bit to thread our holes. Now we're going to come in with a long reach thread miller and thread our screw holes. We like to use thread milling as much as possible. Taps are significantly cheaper, but trying to tap a blind hole in steel with how small these are, just really not worth it, especially once you snap a tap inside that slide. Good luck getting it out, and just not a fun time. So thread milling has kind of been a real game changer over the years for us. All right, so now that our holes are threaded, we're gonna come in, put our logo. We use a little engraver bit. We're gonna put our logo, and then with that, we also put the thread pitch for the screws that we threaded for. So that way, you never have to forget or guess what thread pitch that's used to hold your optic on. So this is basically done as far as the top part of the slide. We have our anti-glare, we have our cloudburst window, and we have our RMR footprint. So from here, we're actually going to do the Glock style front serrations on this one. So let's go ahead and do that next. And load our file. And for the entire operation on this one, we're going to use a 16th inch end mill. And again, since it is the first time for today that we're running the file, we'll just bring it in nice and slow. Just make sure we don't have any crashes or unforeseen issues. We're gonna let this run, and in a few minutes it'll be done. As I was kind of saying before, these end mills don't last an incredibly long time compared to a lot of the other ones. This one we have a missing tooth, and it just didn't quite leave the best finish that we like. So we're gonna go ahead and put a new one of these in, and then we're just gonna run this file again real fast. Anytime you break a tool or you're worried about tool wear or anything like that, go ahead and reset the length here. And then we haven't moved anything else. So we can just go ahead and rerun our file real fast. and in about 2 minutes, you'll be done.
Step by step, I've walked 100 miles, and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wandered so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road.
Can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? I've been calling out for help, still don't see nobody near me. I'm down and almost underground and so deep in the valley, I can't even tell you which way is the mountain. God, the only word I got, I could probably plant a garden, all this dirt I got. Trail of broken hearts behind me from the hurt I bought. Sometimes I really start to wonder if I deserve my spot. Cause I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands. But does a humble sinner still deserve a chance? Hey, say a prayer for me, I think you win.
I don't know how well this picks up on camera. It's much better service finish with that new end mill. And a lot of that stuff is stuff, you know, places won't show you. Like, it happens, man. I mean, anytime you're cutting as much as we do, at least, end mills just don't last forever, especially in steel. And you pair it with going down to, you know, a 1/16 of an inch. They just don't last forever. But that's kind of it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side, wrap this up.
Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely.
Get off of this lonely road.
Would you catch me? Tell me, would you catch me if I told you I was sorry? Could I fall into your blessing? Would you wrap your arms around me? Never drown me. If I walk towards the light, could I tell him that you found me, God?
All right, guys, we just pulled the barrel off. Our battery died on the camera, so we didn't get it on camera, but that's okay. So that is our cloudburst port. And this is pretty much the final product as far as milling goes. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get this blasted. This one is getting our signature ATA FDE camo. So we're gonna get this blasted, start getting this sprayed, and get this back to him and let him enjoy this thing.